We call in powerful creative energy to acknowledge the freedom in travel. First, we acknowledge that it exists. Then we give gratitude for it and for what that freedom provides in our soul growth and experiences. Then we look more closely at how we define the actual word freedom and how much of that freedom is exercised by us or limited by others. As our sisters and brothers are right now traveling to give notice to certain entities, we pray for their safety and their success in issuing the information already shared and now shared again to remind those in positions of authority that their authority is not over us who do no wrong in our Maker's eyes. We answer to our higher authority, who has granted us freedom and the freedom to make choices. Mindlessly complying or submitting to persons with their opinions, assumptions, politics, and policies is not in our best interest. Our God-given thinking, reasoning, mind consciousness has been and is becoming activated to no longer tolerate tyrants. Our God-given voice is speaking to those who choose to muzzle and silence us. No more do we comply to the needs of the state when we realize the dominion of our Creator and the importance of our standing tall against authority of the godless and the misguided. Creator, enrich our growing kin with the knowledge, courage, and certitude to stand tall and speak humbly yet boldly, for our rightful position is good and true to the laws of nature and of nature's God, as is written in our founding documents. Travel with our feet and wheels be as free as travel in our minds, without impedance, without harassment, without delay in achieving our intended destinations and destinies. Let it be so, and so it is.
Hello, my name's Ron Vroman. I'm the old white man talking head for the Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly. Sam's with me, and he's going to read a claim of cognizance from the top. Sam, would you read it for us? Thank you.
Sure. A claim of cognizance to, for, with, by the Office of Sheriff, Lane, Lynn, and Marion Counties, Oregon. After actions of 3 tribunals, a clerk and a marshal, we handed the second service on the Office of Sheriff in Lane, Lynn, and Marion Counties at their proper locations, 31 days after the first posting of the verdict and oath. What we found was our first posting on Lane County was removed from the public bulletin boards and a notice that there was a 15-day limit on a 30-day bulletin board. We responded with a note of removal date, half done. Big John has 8 days until retirement. He was accompanied by a female deputy or badged as such. Listen to the word in common law form from Cynthia, common law from Cynthia. We shook hands and left Cliffy's Cop Shop on Eugene without any oath, no bona fides provided as requested by OSR 206. This is the same sheriff that refused our court and writ of habeas corpus and sub judicium and refused to see us before Dave's conviction. He has 30 days left on 60 days required for us to support your claim of sheriff and with all your bona fides in order. Present were Thomas, Ron, Sam, and Cynthia, and John Campbell, and an unidentified female for the Office of Sheriff. The same bunch appeared in Lynn County's Office of Sheriff, met by 2 receptionist clerks, female, and a female supervisor. They refused to be responsible for management employee who would not receive papers, stayed behind the glass, and their toilets were not open to the public. If we left the paper, we could be charged with littering. The same bunch went on to Lynn County Courthouse, and the same recorder took us and locked the public and took us to the locked public bulletin board, or we removed the first notice and replaced it with the second. Present were Thomas, Ron, Sam, Cynthia, where we left for Salem, Marion County. As we before removed and replaced the oath and verdict and caught the elevator to the basement, no responsible management employee was available. Then when one appeared, we knew from before he refused to hear the word and received the papers and left. Present were Thomas, Ron, Sam, and Cynthia. Our mission to duplicate and replace our first oath and verdict with a second posting was complete on 12/16/2024. I yield.
Thank you, Sam. Do you have anything in addition you'd like to say? You were there for the whole thing.
Well, it really seemed disingenuous when those office girls in Albany, Lynn County, were threatening us with a criminal charge of littering when we're literally serving them papers, no different than they would serve us papers. It just seemed so disingenuous, and as our public servants, it just doesn't ring true.
Do you know what got me about that place? They had in 3-inch high letters, no public toilet. The sheriff's building, the lobby space that has a men and a women's restroom with toilets and washing facility, is there, and they're saying that there's no public access.
And they have a lock key button behind the glass that she can open and unlock those doors at any time she wants.
Oh God, it's just absolutely insane. They want to control the toilet. Oh, okay. The next one is a claim of cognizance to forthwith by the Office of Sheriff, Yamhill, Washington, Multnomah, and Clackamas counties. After action of 3 tribunals, a clerk, and a marshal, we handled second service on the Office of Sheriff of Yamhill, Washington, Multnomah, Clackamas counties at their proper locations, 31 days after first posting of verdict and oath. What we found was, our first posting on Yamhill County was removed from the public bulletin boards, and the whole board had been removed from the wall, and people were plastering paper on the wall with Scotch tape where you could see let me get back to this. I digress. Pasting paper on the wall with 2 empty bolt holes. You could see where they unbolted it from the wall. Boy, I picked up a complaint form from the sheriff's office. Due process is to leave the documents posted for 30 days, not remove the whole bulletin board with our notices on it. That's not due process. To me, that's incontrovertible evidence of not due process. We will use that with risk management. There is no 30-day bulletin board. We responded on the wall with a note of the removal date. A pleasant woman at the desk for the office of sheriff listened to the word in common law from Charlie. Still without an oath and no bona fides, provided as required in ORS 206. This is the same sheriff that refused our court last month. He has 30 days left on the 60 days required to support his claim of sheriff with all your bona fides in order. Present were Thomas, Ron, Charlie, unidentified female from the office of sheriff. The same bunch went to Washington County's Office of Sheriff, met by one receptionist clerk, a female. Charlie read the words in common law. We left the paper and picked up business cards and left our cards. We were refused a responsible management employee to receive the papers. She stayed behind the glass and would not meet in the flesh. Two of that same bunch went to Washington County Courthouse and posted the second notice. The first notice was nowhere to be found. Present were Thomas, Ron, and Charlie. We left for Multnomah, where we picked up Cynthia. Our assembly notified all four offices of sheriff. We were coming and why, by phone and by email twice. And we had done the same before last month. Therefore, this is malice with intent to disrupt due process. Look up petition for redress of grievance in Bouvier Law Dictionary 1856, word by word. We will be filing 4 risk management DAS claims under 18 USC 3571. Due process violations are valued at $250,000 each. Incontrovertible evidence. We can read what due process is, and we did not get it. Cha-ching.
Cha-ching.
Yes. As before, Charlie will make a special trip down to remove and replace the oath and the verdict at a different location. At the office of sheriff, a plainclothes security guard employed by Multnomah County violated our unalienable rights guaranteed by the United States of America's Constitution circa 1859 and the Oregon's Constitution circa 1859. Our court clerk and marshal went to the Clackamas County and read the word and posted the oath and verdict. There was no responsible management employee present, 2 women that would not meet in the flesh, and told us that the week before the holiday, no one was in. They listened through the glass, and we have another due process violation. And we posted the second notice. And there is no sign of the first notice posting. There's a footnote here. No responsible management employees available. Present were Thomas, Ron, Charlie, and Cynthia. Our mission to duplicate and replace the first oath and verdict with the second posting was completed, and we failed at the office of sheriff for Multnomah County. Our best effort failed, however ineptly, but it's on the record, and it's the best we can do at this time. The next one is a claim of cognizance to, for, with, by the office of sheriff for Josephine and Jackson counties, 12/18/2024. After action of 3 tribunals, a clerk and a marshal, we handled second service on the office of sheriff of Josephine and Jackson counties at their proper locations, 31 days after the first posting of verdict and oath. What we found was Bobby, Phil, Kim, and Michael drove to meet with Sheriff Nathan Sickler in Central Point. Neither he nor any other person was available to meet with us. We drove to the county courthouse in Medford and placed the sheriff's oath and petite trial verdict on the bulletin board as directed. This is 4 denials of due process. We will use this evidence that is incontrovertible to file into DAS Risk Management 18 USC 3571 and our court's order. Our court with clerk and marshal appeared for the second part of a 3-part process and were denied petition for redress of grievance. The next is in parentheses suggestion. Look up each word in petition for redress of grievance in Bouvier Dictionary 1856. Next, the same group drove to Grants Pass to the office of sheriff, and again, no one was available to meet with us. I couldn't even get a document copied. We then drove to the county courthouse in Grants Pass and found our 2 documents from the last visit still on the bulletin board, so we posted the second 2 documents next to the originals. They took photos and entered them into the record. Our assembly notified both offices of sheriff we were coming and why, by phone and email twice, as we had done the same the month before. Therefore, this is malice and intent to disrupt due process. Look up Bouvier again for petition for redress of grievance. Word by word, it makes a difference. We will be filing 4 risk management DAS claims on 18 USC 3571 due process violation valued at $250K each, incontrovertible evidence. We can read what due process is, and we did not get it. Cha-ching. They violated our unalienable rights guaranteed by the United States of America's '(S) Constitution circa 1859 and Oregon's Constitution circa 1859. Neither office of sheriff can provide a proper oath or other bona fides. Our clerk, court, and marshal went to Josephine and Jackson counties and were denied the right to read the word in open court and only posted the oath and verdict, and there was no responsible management employee that would meet in the flesh, and we have another a due process violation. Our mission to duplicate and replace the first oath and verdict with the second posting was completed 12/18/2024. We failed at the office of sheriff of Josephine and Jackson County. Our best efforts failed. What was emotionally hard to receive, it looks like contempt of our civilian common law court of record. Now, to sort it out must be done by implementing ORS 206 at the 60-day time period. And I have a correction to make. This is from Kim Swegger, who did Jackson and Josephine County, and she sent the correction to all those that got the first part. For your information, I, Kim Swager, a woman on the land of Oregon, neither ruler nor subject, did read our statement of demand into the ether on Jackson County, despite being denied due process by the elected sheriff, as the spoken word has tremendous power. Whether heard or not, nature's God was our witness. Well done, Kim. So, there we have it. First and second service in the process of obtaining due process. We need 36 responsible, legitimate, de facto, well documented, bona fides in order sheriffs. That's not too much to ask. And you have 60 days to get it together by your own records, by your own admission, by your own Oregon revised statutes.
Doesn't risk management need to go to those sheriffs and tell them they need to get their order their oaths in order? Because they're gonna, if they don't, then they're gonna have to be paying out that 250,000
Well, yeah,
times
but
6 or whatever.
yeah, it gets even more and more because the due process has already been violated. Even if they make it good, what they did is already done.
Right.
So they did it. Well, one sheriff showed up the first time. I
When
forget
when
its
they
name.
when they ghost us like they're doing, that's total dishonor.
Oh, absolutely. I agree 100%. Let me have a sip of this.
You know, if you and I tried to say to some sheriff who was serving us papers, dude, you put that on my front porch, I'm going to charge you with littering. I mean, they're going to call a SWAT team out, kind of thing. They're not going to take that lightly, you know, and yet they can change the rules up on us and make that kind of a threat.
Yes, I find it despicable. That's why we're fixing it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we're seeing too, you know, a cornered rat or, you know, a desperate animal or even being will do desperate things. And we're seeing that they're doing desperate things.
All across the planet, so I understand from my little corner here on Oregon.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah. Thank you, Sam. Appreciate you
Yes, sir.
helping me get this recorded.
All right. Good talking
Take
to you.
care.
Okay, bye.
Hello, my name's Ron Vroman. I'm the old white man talking head for the Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly. Pardon me, with me is Anthony. Would you tell me the story that you told me earlier about you were stopped today?
Oh yeah, I was
Yeah.
stopped. Yeah, I was stopped by Salem police, and he was very. I don't know if I'm thinking, man, they must know something because he went back to his car, say he would check me out. He came back in like 2 minutes and just said, "You're free to go. Sorry to bother. Have a good day." I was like, "Wow, really? What happened? What happened here, man?" But he said I made a bogus I didn't yield right or something. I was getting on Mission Street from Onville Highway, and I just think he wanted to check me out. Because he made a lame excuse, but he was cool, very respectful. And then when I got down further by Shell gas station, and I think it's 23rd, he pulled up next to me and waved at me. I said, "Oh, okay, check him out. We need more patrolman like that. Good kind person. Seemed like I didn't tell him that, but I was like, man, maybe you're in the wrong profession because you're too gentle and nice. So, you know, me and Sam was talking about the energy that's coming from the sun is giving people a change of their spiritual, you know, their spiritual essence and all that good stuff. So that's a good sign. And it shows that being with the Oregon Jural Assembly, man, it's quite a compliment, I must say. I feel real comfortable with you guys. I appreciate you very much.
Good. I'm
Yes,
so
sir.
glad. Hot damn. You know, the last couple of times you've had interaction with those people haven't been near as good.
No.
And now it's getting better. Yes.
Yes.
Merry Christmas to you. I want to get this recorded now. Take care.
Yeah, thank you. Take care. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Article 1, Section 1 of Oregon's Constitution, Natural Rights Inherent in People. We declare that all men, when they form a social compact, are equal in right, that all power is inherent in the people, and all free governments are founded on their authority and instituted for their peace, safety, and happiness, and they have at all times a right to alter, reform, or abolish the government in such manner as they may think proper.
They do not want to let go of this. They do not intend on losing here. And we do not intend giving it back to them.
And then the bullets started flying. Then he jumps out of the car, and he's got both his hands up. And he got out of the car, and he had his hands in the air. He's like, just shoot me then. This is what you want, just shoot me. And they did. They shot him dead. With his hands in the air, and I saw it. I swear to God. He was just walking with his hands in the air. And they shot him. And they shot him dead, and then after he was down on the ground, they shot him 3 more times.